Hi, my name is Krishana, and welcome to Ethereal Mind, where we come, we talk, we get vulnerable. I share my ideas and my thoughts in hopes that we can relate to each other and we can have a conversation and grow together, because that's what life is all about. Learning from each other and growing together. Something that's been a very big theme in my life lately is grief. Grief. People always talk about grief when it's relating to like death and like, just losing people in your life. Everyone knows about that kind of grief, but what about the kind of grief when you're literally grieving yourself, where you're grieving your old self, who you used to be? Like, that's a different type of pain, especially whenever the new version of yourself is much better, more productive. It's like I'm embracing my new self because I love everything I'm creating, but I miss the old me a little. I do miss her a little bit, and I have to let her go. It's I feel like especially this summer it was very transformative. Like, I am a completely new person now than who I was May 2024, April 2024. I'm completely different. That's not me anymore. And I grieve her because all of the hopes, dreams, and plans that version of me had are dead. There are some things at the core of just who I am that I still hope and dream and plan for, but there are a lot of other things that have changed, a lot of things that I no longer want for myself because I want better things. But whenever you're embracing something that's better, it's scary because it's new territory and your nervous system has to catch up. Especially for me, like, it takes my body a second to get used to change. A lot of times I feel like that's why people give up on themselves, because embracing change can get hard. It can get very overwhelming, and you start to grieve the old you, and you're just like, well, I'm just gonna go back, like, and just be who I always was, instead of embracing this new person. But no, you have to embrace that new person. You have to let your old self go. It's like, thank you to my old self for getting me here, but I can no longer take you on this journey with me. And it took me a long time to accept that. Like, I cannot take you with me. You have to stay here. Like, I feel like why it was so hard for me to let go of my old self is because I was like, but she's so strong and she's so amazing. She did so much to get me here, and I just have to let her go. Yes. Because that version of me, the habits I had, the limiting beliefs that I had, the fears, I was in constant survival mode. I'm not in survival mode anymore, I'm living. And so, although yes, she is very strong, she's very smart, she did so much to get me here, I can no longer bring her with me, Let's talk about what embracing change actually looks like. I'm in a place in my life where I'm embracing so many different changes. I live in a new environment. I have a lot of new people in my life. I have new opportunities. I'm doing a lot of new things that I've never done before, and it's like, whoa. So I just want to talk about how I embrace change, what that looks like for me, and how I do that while also letting go of the past versions of myself, because like I said, they can't come with you. You gotta let them go, and you gotta embrace who you are now. One thing that's very important with embracing change is being a present person. You gotta be able to live in the moment, because have you ever been wishing for something and hoping for something, and when you finally get it, it's just like you don't feel that satisfaction. You're just kind of like, okay, I got it. Now what? Or it's like, I got it, and then you just feel overwhelmed, like, whoa, what do I do with it now? That's why you gotta be present, because whenever you get it, enjoy it, live in it and enjoy it, instead of thinking, oh, I have it now, what am I doing with it now, how am I gonna handle all of this? Just be present. What can you do right now? What can you handle right now? You have to exist and be in the moment. There's this one quote that I really love. It's be where your feet are. Be where your feet are. Be present. Live here, right here. You're living in your mind. You need to live here where your feet are. You know, you're thinking about the future and, oh, I have this now, so this is what I need to do with it now so that I can do this. And like, yes, planning is good, but you need to have balance. You should not be planning so much to the point where it's stressing you out that bad and you feel super anxious. Like, or you shouldn't also be too much in the past. Like, be here now. Be here, you know? And it is hard to be present when you have not been present before, and there are so many things that go into being a present person. Whenever I was first learning to be a present person, something that I would do is I would just practice sitting by myself, and I would do these 5 things. I would go, what can I see? What can I hear? What can I taste? What can I feel? Ooh, I'm missing one. But the 5 senses. Oh, what can I smell? I don't think I said that, but the 5 senses. I would just sit by myself. Outside is a really good place to do this, so you're connected with nature, or anywhere, it doesn't matter. I would go through them and just be like, okay, I'm in the moment. What can I hear, see, smell, taste? And that's how I started with learning how to be present. And just go from there. Be patient though. Along with being present, find ways to have a sense of security within yourself. And the way I have a sense of security are through my grounding techniques. So grounding techniques that I have are journaling. I love to journal. It brings me back to myself and it makes me feel very secure. So I like to journal. I like to read. I have hobbies. I like to sit outside. Whatever makes you feel grounded, whatever brings you back to earth, that's what's gonna make you feel secure within yourself. So find some grounding techniques. A new one for me is working out, going to the gym. You know, when I'm in the gym, I'm so present because I'm focusing on what am I doing right now? You know, how many reps am I doing? How many sets was that? I'm so focused on me, and it's so grounding for me. So find something that's gonna make you be present, make you focus on yourself, and that's going to make you feel secure. Embracing change is overwhelming, so you have to give yourself rest. Give yourself a moment to just be. Whenever things are changing and you have a lot going on, you're probably juggling a lot of things, right? And you also don't really know how to manage your time that well because all of these things are very new for you. You've never had to manage all of this before. So you're doing a lot, and it's important to just give yourself time to rest. Give yourself a day to not have to worry about getting things done, and just give yourself that day to yourself where you can just be you, just exist and do whatever is going to make you feel good. Like, it's important that you don't push yourself to a burnout because you want to embrace this change. And when you think of the word embrace, you think of something positive. You think of a good feeling, and a burnout is not a good feeling. So you have to know when your mind and body needs a break. Listen to it and give it what it needs. I know you're probably feeling overwhelmed, but being overwhelmed doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, you know? Everything is about perspective, how you look at it. You're overwhelmed because of all of the new things going on. Well, what are all those new things going on in your life? Are there things that you love doing? Are there things you've been working on? Are there things that you're passionate about? And so it's like, yes, you're overwhelmed, but you're overwhelmed with so many great things. You got to give yourself grace and say, I'm overwhelmed because I'm not used to this. I will get used to it. You know, you got to give yourself time, give your body time to catch up, because really that's what it is. A lot of the times our mind is ready before our body is. You know, we're thinking of this change, all these new things we're about to have. Your mind is ready. Oh yes, I can't wait to have this. I'm so ready for this new move, this change, this new job or new project I'm working on. I'm so ready. And when you get there, you feel overwhelmed and you're like, but I was ready. Like, your body has to catch up. And so just recognize that that feeling of overwhelmed is more than likely your nervous system, a little bit of fear because it's unfamiliar. So you don't have to let that feeling of overwhelmed be a bad feeling. It's all about how you look at it. Another thing is, do not compare. You cannot compare what you're doing to what somebody else is doing. They're not you. They don't have your life experiences. You don't think like them. Don't compare. Y'all are not the same person. You are your own person. Y'all have your own unique experiences. Just don't compare. You will save yourselves like so much mental deterioration if you just focus on you and don't compare yourself to other people, or don't compare yourself to a fantasy idea of yourself that you've had, because I've also done that before too, where I fantasize what I was gonna do, and I'm like, okay, when I'm in this position, this is what I am gonna do, and then whenever I do it, it doesn't work out the way I thought it was. Yeah, also don't compare yourself to that, because honestly, I feel like that one affects me more than me comparing myself to other people. Is me comparing myself to my ideal version of myself, how I think everything is gonna go, because everything probably isn't gonna go the way that you think it is, and no matter how much you want to plan, you're really just not gonna know how it goes until you're there. And so that's why you just need to live in the moment. Again, be present, and don't compare yourself to that fantasy idea of how you thought everything was going to work out. Just take everything as it comes, handle it the best that you can, and you're in there. You got it. Grieving a past version of yourself and embracing change, they go very hand in hand, and it can be difficult. It can definitely be painful. If you need to cry, allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to be sad, happy, mad. Feel all of the emotions. All of your emotions are normal. Feel all of them. Let them be and let them go. You don't have to hold on to all of that. And just know that eventually all this change that you're going through will be a reality, and you'll know how to navigate it. And there are some things about your change you may have to let go, or you may have to incorporate something else or add something to your life. But at the end of the day, you got this. You are well equipped to do this. You are plenty capable. I believe in you. I think that you should continue to believe in yourself, because you're obviously going through this change because it's something that you wanted to happen. So be patient with yourself and just know you got this. That's all from me today. And if there's anything in particular that you would love for me to talk about, like if you would want to hear my insight on something, let me know, because sometimes I be struggling, like what should I talk about? There's so many different things I love to talk about, but I don't know what people want to hear. So if there's anything that you would like to hear me talk about, let me know. And I hope that you have a day that's just as beautiful as me.